It's America's Most Wanted versus the Natural double ladder match.
My God, this thing is totally out of control. But bottom line, you cannot blame Chris Harris.
No,
you cannot blame James Storm. Not in the least. And we are back live inside the TNA Asylum. And there's so much at stake tonight for AMW in this double ladder match. There you see it, hanging above the ring. It's their ring gear, it's the contract. Take it down, win the bout, qualify for a title match next Wednesday, but lose to the Naturals, and AMW falls out of the title picture.
The following contest is your main event of the evening and is a double ladder match. Introducing first of all, they are the NWA World Tag Team Champions. They are the team of Andy Douglas and Chase Stevens. They are the Naturals.
You can accuse this team, as we see Andy Douglas first and then Chase Stevens coming down the ramp, you can accuse them of thievery. You can rightfully claim that they gained the attention of TNA management and America's Most Wanted when they initially stole AMW's ring gear. But you can't deny the fact that the Naturals own the gold after they shocked Chris Harris and James Storm last Wednesday when they captured the NWA World Tag Team titles.
And introducing their opponents, they are the team of Cowboy James Storm and Wildcat Chris Harris. They are America's Most Wanted.
And here come Harris and Storm directly to the ring to jumpstart this double ladder match. Where really, Don, it's everything at stake for AMW. This is their last chance.
Oh, absolutely. And they've been foiled twice by the Naturals, and it seems like the Naturals always figure out a way to get their number. Well, this is their chance. It's not about the gear, like he said. It's about making sure they get that title shot next week in their dream match.
High impact moves in the ring by AMW on the Naturals, and now they're going to head up the ramp and try and get the ladders and try and bring them towards the ring. Think about it. It was a week ago tonight. AMW gave the Naturals an opening. Stevens and Douglas capitalized to the max. Opening minute of the match, James Storm. He was laid out by a belt shot. Oh, man.
Chase Stevens, what a move right there.
Sure was. That ladder came right up into his face.
How about what Wildcat just did right there is Andy Douglas telegraphed the fact he was going to try to kick the ladder into the Wildcat, and he just picked it up, but Stevens saw the opportunity, and he doesn't do it.
Baseball slide by Stevens, and the ladder goes right into the Wildcat Chris Harris. Now Andy Douglas is going to try and position the ladder between the safety rail and the side of the ring.
Obviously, the Naturals have done their homework right here as they have come prepared. They know the tricks of the trade in this business. As you see right there, though, the Cowboy James Storm just shoved that ladder right back into the face of Andy Douglas.
Seems strange to talk about AMW as former title holders once again, but that's the case.
Chase Stevens
last
trying
week,
to sneak it away.
Going to try and go up that ladder as James Storm cuts him off from behind. Last week, one of the quickest title bouts in TNA history when we crown the new champs and the Naturals win the belts. Ladder is a long ways away.
Yeah, I don't know if Chase Stevens realizes where he's at right there in the ring. As Cowboy James Storm goes up to get him, you see Andy Douglas coming in. Uh-oh. Oh, man.
Yeah, from underneath, you saw Andy Douglas take James Storm, but at the same time, Storm took Douglas's partner, Chase Stevens, over.
Yeah, that was one of those situations where Andy Douglas was so caught up in the moment, he didn't realize that James Storm had a hold of Chase Stevens. And there you see the Wildcat Chris Harris just coming in and just throwing blows right and left.
Repeated shots left and right by Harris to the back of Andy Douglas. And now Chris Harris has got the ladder. Shot to the back for Chase Stevens.
I'll tell you what, have you ever seen the ladders used so quickly and so frequently? I mean, it's just like it's a weapon that they brought, like their six-shooter. They plan on using them and then exacting all the damage that they can. Look at this as he sends Andy Douglas right into it. And he's going to do it again.
I'm guessing that AMW feels like after Harris went to try and either clothesline or spear Douglas into the ladder, but Andy able to move out of the way, and Harris just crashed and burned.
Oh, you can see it right there. Wildcat Chris Harris went to the well one time too often right there, and here comes Douglas, and look at this! Oh my God! Wow, that was unbelievable!
Harris able to elevate Douglas over the top rope, and Andy Douglas landed back first on the ladder.
Can we see that again? Is it possible? Look at this, folks.
You asked for it, and oh, look at this.
Oh, man, folks, don't try that at home.
We're back live. Chris Harris has got the ladder. Climb the ladder, take down the ring gear, their own ring gear, as we see Triple X looking on. Obviously very interested observers.
Great kick there by Chase Stevens as he saw Wildcat Chris Harris starting to climb the ladder, and Stevens just kicked the ladder right out from underneath him, and Harris took a major spill. Look at these guys. I mean, you talk about a rivalry forming right here. This is brutal, as every time you think one team's taking over, the other team comes back. And look at that as each blow that Storm puts into Chase Stevens knocks the air out of him. This is a chance right here for AMW.
Repeatedly back first into the side of the ring, and then he jacked his jaw with the right hand. And now the Tennessee Cowboy coming by our broadcast table and clearing. Look at this. He
grabbed the table where our timekeeper sits, the bell ringer sits, and just scooted him out of the way and grabbed it.
Impromptu strategy on the part of James Storm, taking the table and bringing it toward the ringside area.
Wildcat Chris Harris is obviously in some major pain. I think he kind of, I don't know if he blacked out for a second or what, but he's definitely lost it inside the ring as you see the Cowboy James Storm trying to get Chase Stevens up. Oh, but Stevens counter.
Desperation move, but it paid off that time for Douglas as he was able, Stevens rather, as he was able to dig deep and take him over as...
there you see the elite guard up there.
Collier and Hernandez from the guard.
Shows you the importance of this match,
Mike. Really drives home the importance and the point that this match is the last chance for AMW. This incredibly competitive tag team division in TNA with many of the members looking on from the back, from also outside here in the asylum.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and good reason to, because this is the 4-time tag team champs. A team that everybody has respected in TNA and looked up to in TNA. And here's a chance for the Naturals to foil them again.
Storm quickly to the top. Oh,
my God! Jay Stevens just threw it right over the ropes, and Storm crashed into the table that he'd set up to use.
Wow, he went directly through the table. And now action in the ring as well with Harris on the attack, but James Storm is unconscious out here.
Oh, he's absolutely knocked out in front of us at this point. You saw that just kind of drove the Wildcat on.
Yeah, but Harris,
as he comes out here to check.
Then he realized that Storm was unconscious. Harris rolls out to the floor to check on his partner.
Andy Douglas hasn't moved much since he hit that ladder there a little moments before that. This has been the most brutal ladder match I've ever seen.
It's because of what's at stake. AMW gets a win. They get a tag title shot next week with their own stipulations. AMW loses. They're out of the tag title picture. Full Nelson slam by Harris on Stevens.
Oh, look at that. You can see the anger on Chris Harris's face as James Storm is knocked out cold here in front of us. I haven't looked over. Douglas is woozy, but he is trying to get up on the side. Now look at this. Chase Stevens is going to feel the brunt of the anger of the Wildcat.
Harris using the ladder as a weapon, driving it across the chest of Chase Stevens. And now he's going to mount the corner.
You're kidding me.
All of his weight.
This is all about pain. Look at that.
Dropping down with the ladder across the prone body of Chase Stevens.
And here comes Douglas trying to get back up. And Wildcat Harris just sends him right back to where he was. And Douglas out of breath, clutching his guts. Oh, I've just looked right here as James Storm is finally moving. That's the good news in front of us, but he still can't get up.
Looks like there's blood coming from the mouth of James Storm as he's...
Could have bit his tongue or something.
Well, you can see, Don, just by his reaction, that he has no idea of where he's at, no awareness at all. Back in the ring, Harris has got Stevens up. Suplex attempt.
Oh, look at him just taking time, and you can see Douglas is going to try to take a cheap shot, but oh, well, he gets one in anyway.
Yeah, what Douglas did was move that ladder out of the way so that his partner wouldn't land back first because of the suplex, and then you called it a cheap shot, chair shot used by Andy Douglas that takes down Harris, and both members of AMW are laid out.
Look at these guys, and none of them are in any kind of shape. They can barely walk. They've been beaten to death. I'll tell you what.
Andy Douglas probably at this point in time is best suited to climb the ladder and take down the gear and the contract. But he's going to try and use the chair now, and does on Harris.
Oh, this is a chance right here for the Naturals as they are 2-on-1 with Cowboy James Storm still knocked out in front of us. He's reaching around, clutching his head. He's got blood coming from his mouth, and the Wildcat Chris Harris is stuck in the middle there between the two Naturals, and he's going to have to give it everything he's got, or this can be over.
Yeah, now the 2-on-1 by the Naturals. Clubbing blows to the back by Andy Douglas, while Stevens has opened up the ladder. Now they put Chris Harris inside the ladder.
As they've got Harris stranded in there. No, what are they going to do now? Oh, just saw Douglas slam it down, and oh, he's doing it again.
Stevens from the top. Put his own body at risk. Went for the moonsault, landed on the ladder with Harris's own body wedged in between both sides of the steel.
The only thing that saved Harris, as you see the elite guard looking on, was the fact that Chase Stevens might have just barely overshot the ladder and didn't get his full body weight on it. But James Storm is back as he's fighting, but it was just about all he could do, and he went back down.
Storm able to pull Douglas out to the floor. The bodies of Chase Stevens and Chris Harris prone in the ring. But that little burst of energy that Storm used to pull Andy Douglas out may have cost him.
Well, it may have cost him, but it also may have saved the Wildcat Chris Harris, because the numbers game was going to get to Wildcat. He was stuck in between the ladder. How many more blows of that could he have taken?
Well, that's a good point. It was one of those moves where James Storm just had to do it. He didn't have any other choice.
No, he reached down and found something. He realized his partner was in danger. He realized so much at stake.
You look around the Asylum, Don, and almost the fans as a group, everyone on their feet, because it's not just the wrestlers. It's not just the other tag teams. It's the fans as well that realize how important this match is, as we see Chase Stevens going to try and climb the ladder.
Oh, wait a minute. Up there you see right there the contract, and Stevens close as the Wildcat trying to fight it for him. And Andy Douglas right here in front of us is, I'm going to tell you something, he's got something in his hand, and I believe it's powder. He just slashed it right here. Oh, you can see the Wildcat throwing down.
Harris with the slam on Chase Stevens, taking him off the ladder. You talked about Andy Douglas going into his trunks, pulling the powder out. We've seen this from the Naturals before. Harris climbing up.
Oh, man, he timed it just right as Harris can't see.
He blinded him. He threw the powder right in his face.
He was so close to getting the contract, and it was so close to being over.
AMW, you're right, just on the verge of victory.
Oh, look at this.
And now Andy Douglas is going to climb the ladder.
Oh, look at the Wildcat, though, grabs on, clutching at the ankle with everything he's got, fighting for dear life.
That's what AMW has to do. They don't have any other choice. Stop him from climbing the ladder, and that's what Harris did.
Storm trying to get back in the ring. He doesn't have anything left, and Douglas gives him a kick for good measure.
Andy Douglas continuing the assault, just lifting the Wildcat up to his feet.
Look at him, he looks like a fighter that's been hit too many times. I've never seen that woozy look in Harris's eyes before. Oh, what a super kick though by the Cowboy!
Never saw that one coming. Storm hit it right on target. Meanwhile, Chase Stevens gonna move the ladder. Chase Stevens now, if he climbs up the ladder here with other wrestlers down, positioning it in place. Here goes Stevens up.
He's trying to make sure you can see him taking his time, that the ladder's wobbling. Storm going up there to meet him. He knows how close he is.
Storm realizes that he's got to fight him from the other side, and there they go.
Trading blows right there, and Storm knows it's now or never. Oh, look at him slamming his head down the top of the ladder. What's going to happen here?
Right hand for right hand.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God. He just took Chase Stevens right over.
And
look at Stevens. He's out.
Power bombed him down off the ladder.
He's out cold. Look at him. He's not moving at all.
Can AMW take advantage of this opening? Can they capitalize?
Oh, Andy Douglas did right there as he caught Storm with the kick into the ribs. You know those ribs have got to be sore from the table shot he took earlier.
Douglas now brings the chair into play, throws it into the ring. Storm on one side, Andy Douglas on the other. Ladder's a long way, though, from the contract and the gear.
It is, but Douglas has a chair in his hand. I don't know that Storm realizes it. You know he's going to try to find an opportunity there as he tries to catch him, and he does just enough, and Storm goes down.
Sure, especially when you're up that high on the ladder. He caught him with the chair.
Douglas, I think, is going to try to jump up and reach it.
He's a long ways away.
Oh, he's seen it. Spear in midair.
As Andy Douglas tried to jump off the ladder and take the contract and gear down, Chris Harris speared him from the top rope. Good God!
As you can see right there, wait a minute, Stevens now back to his feet. As Harris and Douglas
Storm's up at the top. Who's it going to be? Who's going to tear down the contract? Who's going to win the match? The Naturals or AMW? Storm reaching up. Stevens as well.
Oh, look at that blow by the Cowboy.
Tarek, take it down, James.
He's got to get in.
He did it. He did it. AMW wins it.
The winners of the match, America's Most Wanted.
They've done it.
AMW with the last chance staring them in the face. Able to put it together and win this double ladder match. They're going to get the tag title shot next week under their own stipulations.
It's going to be a dream match. They said a match of their choice. They've done it. What a hard-fought battle, though. You got to give the Naturals credit. They stuck in there, and I've never seen a more brutal ladder match. Wow.
AMW, sensational in victory. Harris is asking for the microphone.
And you see Triple X right there looking on. They've told them they want to be next.
Here's the proud former champions.
Everybody said AMW was done. Once again, Harris and Storm prove everybody wrong. Last year, at this time, this man and me, we made history in TNA's first ever cage match.
One of the greatest matches in TNA history, AMW and Triple X.
Next week, Naturals, we get our title shot in our dream match. How about it, Storm? For the first time in wrestling history, a six-sided steel cage!
Yes! Yes! You heard it right here next week. Steel cage in the six-sided ring.
We'll see you Friday on Impact and next Wednesday on pay-per-view. Do you believe it? AMW to challenge the Naturals for the NWA World Tag Team titles for the first time ever in a six-sided cage.